Pritchard has the Kniffel assignment. Williams tried to get it to Diabate. Pritchard said, I'll take that. Head of steam for White. Tatum waits, drives. Vucevic over to White. Good ball movement. Who's going to shoot it? Pritchard will. Bullseye!
When I said don't settle, they took that to a whole new level. The patience on that possession.
All right, that three gave the Celtics a 7-point lead in the fourth quarter, part of a 10-0 run. Overall, it was a 26-7 run. Charlotte was in front by 7 before the Celtics took advantage and took control going into the fourth quarter, and they get the win here, 113-102. Your final score. Tom Giles, Chris Forsberg with you here on Celtics Postgame Live. Chris, your overall thoughts on what you saw tonight?
So basically, if you're a team in the Eastern Conference in slots 5 through 10, you get 3 quarters. But then it's winning time, and the Celtics, their experience takes over. They lock in just a little bit more to a level that these teams cannot at this point. You can certainly see why teams like Charlotte would be frisky in the playoffs, and yet Celtics totally took away the three-point shot in the second half. They lock down. They find a way to, even as they're experimenting with some stuff out there and getting Vooch reps, thought when it mattered most, they started to just take better care of the basketball, make the right play, certainly the patience on possessions like that, where they get to the finish line. And so, like, look, this is the way it's going to be. Move a little bit closer to that 2 seed. Everything's kind of starting to take shape. Just keep the Hornets away for a little bit.
All right. The magic number's now 1, as Drew kind of laid out there for you. So one more Celtics win means that they will be assured the 2 seed in the Eastern Conference playoffs, and they do have 3 games to go. You brought up the three-point shooting. Charlotte had 13 threes in that first half. That allowed them to be up by 6 at the break. They had 3 in the second half, so it seemed like it felt like, anyways, a point of emphasis.
The way it's going to be with Charlotte is that when they are flowing offensively like we saw in the first half, when LaMelo Ball is doing what he's doing, they're going to be a difficult team. And there are teams in the playoffs that they will stress. I keep saying it. Like, if they get a 1-8 matchup against Detroit, that's a team they can push a little bit. I don't know if they'll be able to really win that series, but like they'll at least be a thorn in their side because of the way they can score the basketball. It's just there's still steps that they need to take in order to be a legitimate contender. And you can just see in the second half, when the Celtics were a little bit more engaged, when they were a little bit more alert to that three-point line, things got a lot more difficult for Charlotte.
All right, Peyton Pritchard, meanwhile, finished with 12 points. He had 9 of those in the second half, and he is standing by with Abby Chin back at TD Garden.
Peyton, you guys took control of this game with an extended run at the end of the third into the fourth. What changed?
Just got a couple of stops, made some threes, really. That's we were just waiting to make our run, go on a little momentum, and close it out in the fourth. So it's 4-quarter game. They got us in the first half, but then we come out ready in the second.
Part of that was a huge 3 by you after some unbelievable ball movement in the fourth quarter. What did it feel like to knock that one down and put yourselves ahead?
I felt good. Just, obviously in the fourth quarter, just kind of trying to keep the scoreboard moving. So, like I said, a big momentum play right there, and then, put them away.
Peyton, despite Charlotte leading most of this game, there was never any concern, never panic inside that huddle. Where does that confidence come from for this group?
Champions don't panic, so we try to have a champion DNA to us. Never panic, we're never out of it. Just keep playing the right way, and it will come together.
Finally, you guys have now won 11 of your last 13, and these are some tough opponents along the way. Do you feel like you're peaking at the right time?
I think so. I think our main goal is just every game try to take a step, every off day, every practice day, take a step in the right direction and build for the future. So trying to win a championship.
Looks pretty good. Peyton, thank you.
All right, there you go. Peyton Pritchard again with 12 points off the bench as the Celtics get the win, 113-102. And Charlotte got the best of the Celtics going all the way back a month ago. As that was the most lopsided loss of the season for the season. They lost by 29 in that game, but the Celtics getting revenge a week ago. Down in Charlotte, Jayson Tatum with that 32-point game. And then tonight, Jaylen Brown leading the way with 35 points, 9 rebounds in the 113-102 win. So they take 2 of 3 from the Hornets in the regular season series. We'll see if there is a postseason series. Drew and Scal had the call in the game, fellas. I'll leave it to you.
Yeah, Giles, I think if you look at this box score, what stands out to me is the Hornets 31 in the first, 30 in the second, 26 in the third, and then 15 in the fourth. That number went down by the quarter. Do you feel like the Celtics figured out their offense, picked up their intensity? What was it?
I mean, a little bit of everything. I think, Ball didn't have the same juice. Maybe he was worn out as he went along. I think they really missed Kobe White today, but You know, I think the shots that they made, the ball movement, the attacking, the mismatch, you call it pigeon hunting in the NBA. They were finding the matchups that they liked. They were attacking those, controlling pace. You know, you didn't see a lot of fast break points from Charlotte throughout that game or in the fourth quarter. So I think a combination of a lot of those. But I still stand with what I believe. I don't want to play that team. I think Kobe White would have made a huge difference for them today. Felt like they ran out of offensive gas today, but I'd much rather that team play somebody else in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, look, you don't want to overreact to one game, but the Hornets, their net rating is through the roof. When they win, they tend to win big. In clutch games, they're not great, which makes sense. They're really young, and it's a pretty new group in terms of playing together in tight games. That actually means something for a Hornets team that hasn't been in the playoffs in 9 years. We both expect that to change this season. But do you feel like the Celtics sort of prove to them what it's going to take for them to win playoff games tonight?
Yeah, it could be a good lesson for them to learn about what play. It had a playoff intensity to it. The game did. And in the fourth quarter, you're on the road, and now you're getting matchup hunted, and you got to be ready for that. And then on the other end, you got to, you have to make sure that you can find different ways to score. Like they had lineups out there with Sion James and Diabate, two non-shooters. The Celtics, with their experience and their coaching, they took advantage of that. So it's not that I don't believe the Celtics can't beat the team. It's I'd rather them play another team and beat up those other teams. So I do believe that Charlotte Hornet team is a good team.
Yeah, they're a problem for sure. And one thing I want to make sure that doesn't get lost from this game with how great Nemic Keita was, especially Vooch in the fourth quarter, man, he was awesome.
Yeah, and I like how Joe let him play extended minutes. He didn't have to do that. Keita deserved to come back in. But, part of this game and part of the long season you have is making sure that you get the most out of each guy. If Vooch is making winning plays, Joe's going to reward Vooch for making winning plays. And I thought he did a good job with that. And also, you see Tatum didn't play well in the first half. What a bounce back to start that third quarter. I love to see that from players. When you know that they're like, man, I got to do better than this, and they come out and they make something happen. A good player says, no, that's unacceptable. My standards are higher than that. I'm not. I feel like the old Celtics were, hey man, it's a make-miss league. Hey man, there's a lot of shots. Hey, sometimes we make them, sometimes we miss. Hey, we got a lot of open looks. We just missed them. I don't feel like this team makes those excuses. I feel like they figure out ways to win games on a daily basis.
Very impressive stuff from a very impressive team, Giles. For as well as Nemi played, though, might be getting an earful from Joe Mazzulla about that, letting LaMelo go.
Oh, that was so funny.
Hysterical.
That was so funny. If we had a professional lip reader and we can break down the Zapruder film on this one, you would find a lot of
B-rated TV mature.
With a 10-point lead in less than a minute to go. We're going to get Max on that to break that down. All right, Drew Scout, thanks so much, fellas. Appreciate it. Celtics winning 113-102, 54-25. Now it's season 29 games above 500. Quick break. We're going to take a look at that big run between the third quarter, fourth quarter. We'll hear from Joe Mazzulla coming up as well on Celtics Postgame Live.
Celtics Postgame Live is presented by your New England Ford dealer.